Good afternoon, folks. So today your technical session with me is about a chap who I really like, a graphical designer, an artist, whose social media accounts are pretty cool, pretty massive as well now. I'd like to take you through the world of Cold War Steve. Today we're going to be creating something in the style of Cold War Steve. Please also put this in your challenge week 3 folders. I'm going to be having a look through them today, going to be talking to you today, and also then I'm going to have a look over them tomorrow, give you some feedback, let you know what I think. You should really like this. Some of you may know who Cold War Steve is, some of you may not. Okay, so without any further ado, let's crack on. Okay, Cold War Steve, aka Christopher Spencer. Let me just read you out this little bit. His work typically depicts a grim dystopian location in England, populated by British media figures, celebrities and politicians, usually with the EastEnders actor Steve McFadden in character as Phil Mitchell, looking on in disgust. This is the hence Cold War Steve. His work has been described as having captured the mood of Brexit Britain and likened to earlier British political satirists Hogarth and Gilray. Fantastic work. If you ever want to have a little look at more political satire, Hogarth and Gilray is the way you want to go. As of February 2020, his account has over 240,000 followers. So yeah, he's not like up in the levels of Kanye West, obviously, but he is, you know, as far as a graphic designer goes, yeah, got a real big following. Love him. I'd completely recommend following him on Instagram. He posts very often. Okay, let's have a little look. So what is political satire? Well, this is how Wikipedia describes political satire. Political satire is satire that specialises in gaining entertainment from politics. This is pretty much the basics. It has also been used with subversive intent, where political speech and dissent are forbidden by a regime as a method of advancing political arguments, where such arguments are expressly forbidden. So say like in North Korea or something, posters are produced. Political satire is usually distinguished from political protest or political dissent, as it does not necessarily carry an agenda nor seek to influence the political process, while occasionally it more commonly aims simply to provide entertainment. By its very nature, it rarely offers a constructive view in itself. When it is used as part of protest or dissent, it tends to simply establish the error of matters rather than provide solutions. Basically, political satire is poking fun at politicians, people in the media, celebrities, as we said before, and yeah, in an amusing way, often with a political viewpoint as well. So let's have a look at the sort of things that he does. So Cold War Steve, as you'll see, he's very much a character, a digital collage artist. Yeah, I guess you'd say. But he's very clever. He works very cleverly. So we'd have a little look at something like this, a background, say. And if you can see my cursor there. Yeah, so you've got the image of the swimming pool, all the background, the elements, something like that. A lot of these characters, he hasn't just chosen the first head that fits onto them. So you've got people like Nigel Farage, Vladimir Putin, Prince Andrew, etc. Boris Johnson, always pops up in these pictures. Oh, and here we have Cold War Steve McFadden, looking on in disgust. One of the things I want you to look at when we're doing this, I want you to take into account things like the angle of the heads. So say like if a character's looking like Jacob Rees-Mogg over here, he needed to have a head that was put on that was turning facing to the right, so that this would be looking directly at the camera. Same with Donald Trump. Not any old head would do. There has to be the line of the shoulders with the neck. So I take any pointers you can from the lines of the shoulders to how the neck sits when you're choosing your images. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be picking a picture, we're going to be picking loads of characters to go on it, and we're going to be picking the faces and heads to sit on top of them characters. You will see, yeah, some people like this one here has just been like superimposed over the top. I do believe that there probably isn't a character currently in this, the original photo on the back that has this character of Prince Andrew or Boris Johnson. These have all been added in afterwards as well. Same with Donald Trump. Rather amusing images, as you can see. Let's carry on. So again, another fantastic piece there. Oh, Steve McFadden looking fantastic as always. Then you've got the lights of yeah, Dominic Cummings there. What a guy. Boris Johnson and Donald Trump often as subject matters in the work of Cold War Steve, as is Prince Andrew. So yeah, very much in the limelight and at the front of news articles and bulletins at the moment. We move on to something like this. This was taken from a while back. Steve McFadden there, Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson. Brilliant image, love that. Another one, a mass one. This is almost like a Where's Wally, isn't it? So many different characters, so many different people put in over here. Yeah, oh, there, you couldn't find him before. There's Steve McFadden on the back of a horse. Les Dennis there, looking great. Michael Rosen, the poet, don't understand why he's on it. Anyway, loads and loads of people. This is the sort of thing that if you're really into digital collage, this sort of thing should come as like second nature to you, being able to put all this in. Notice how also when he's doing these characters, each of them have got feet and bottom halves. I notice when some people do their digital collage, they leave off like, they might cut it at the knee if the picture cuts at the knee. We're wanting to see like full images of full people. Oh, Trisha Goddard there. And that's what's going to make it up for you, what we're going to be doing. Let's move on. You may choose when we do it to do something from a fine art piece. Fine art always works really, really well with this sort of thing. You might want to choose like a battle scene or something like that. Have quite a few people in it though, and make sure for all the people who are in it, you've given them a different head. Steve McFadden there. Another one, brilliant image. It's so funny, love it. Yeah, we could tell who all these people are. Jacob Rees-Mogg there, and Steve McFadden looking on in disgust at Peter Beardsley's cleaning up shoes in a public toilet. Sports Direct often features also. Another one of the large collages created. You can do whatever you want with this sort of thing as well. That we never close bar Brexit restaurant. Believe in Britain at the back. Fantastic message. And old Steve McFadden in the top left hand corner. Cold War Steve. Love this image. It just makes me giggle every time I see it. Brilliant. Cold War Steve and Kim Jong-un looking on. Anthony McPartlin on the left hand side there, ladies and gentlemen. And of course the lovely Michael Gove. Great image. Nice bit of fun. Fantastic. Also really like this one. We've got yeah, the Who singer Roger Daltrey and the audience watching on. Cold War Steve McFadden. Steve McFadden's often always pictured next to Kim Jong-un quite a lot on these. Oh, and poor old Ian Beale. What a shame. Yeah, great image. Love it. Fantastic. So for the technical challenge just for today, I would like you to get to grips with selection tools in Photoshop. This may act slightly differently to those in Illustrator. I'm going to be putting up another video shortly as well that is going to give you a bit more of a little look at the selection tools in Photoshop, and I'd like you to produce a collage demonstrating political satire in the style of Cold War Steve. You can depict as many characters as you like, but please can you make sure you place them all on a background image which can either be a photo or a piece of fine art, one with the same amount of corresponding characters as you have chosen heads for. Please concentrate on your accuracy in your cutting out and masking, and then also, if you please, as I said before, if you please upload these into your challenge week 3 folder with the title Cold War Steve. I will look around these and I'll give you some feedback on them as soon as possible. Okay then folks, that's it for this video. If you've got any questions, please pass them over to me and I'll be putting up another video shortly. Okay, cheers.